Hello, this is Bill Bullard with RCAF USA, the voice of the independent cattle producer in the United States of America. Well, last week, RCAF USA was in Washington, D.C., talking to high-level officials about the need to restore country of origin labeling for both producers and for consumers. We explained to our U.S. Trade Ambassador, Robert Lighthizer, and to the Director of the White House National Trade Council, Peter Navarro, and to the Undersecretary of Commerce, Gilbert Kaplan, that right now the U.S. Department of Agriculture allows meat packers to import beef from foreign countries, and when it enters the United States, it has a foreign label on that product, but the product is brought into a U.S. processing plant where it is unwrapped and then rewrapped, and the new wrapping also includes a product of USA label on it. So this is deceiving consumers and harming domestic producers. So the officials asked how it was that the USDA was allowing this to happen and what needs to be done to fix it. So we went into detail, and I want to explain that to you today. What happened was that in 1989, the U.S. Department of Agriculture issued what's called the Foreign Products Rule. That rule was to implement the Federal Meat Inspection Act's labeling requirements. And though the Federal Meat Inspection Act required USDA to comply with the labeling requirements of the Tariff Act of 1930, the 1989 Foreign Products Rule failed to do so. Instead, the USDA simply said that all imported beef would be deemed a domestic product after it entered U.S. commerce. So unlike other imported goods that must retain their foreign labels unless the product is substantially transformed into another product, the USDA allowed foreign beef to remain undifferentiated in the U.S. market. Worse, the USDA is allowing foreign beef processed into the United States, even if only subject to very minor processing, to bear a product of USA label. And this is causing great harm to our U.S. cattle producers. So RCAF USA successfully remedied this improper labeling in the 2002 mandatory country of origin labeling law. And of course, other organizations were involved in the passage of that law. But the KU law addressed both the labeling of beef derived from cattle slaughtered in the U.S., as well as cattle slaughtered in a foreign country with the resulting beef imported as a commodity, like a packaged beef. So from 2002 to 2015, the country of origin labeling law remedied the improper labeling of imported or packaged beef by requiring all imported beef to retain its foreign country of origin label through retail sale. Then in 2015, Congress repealed the KU law as it pertains to beef and pork. And following the 2015 KU repeal, the USDA reverted back to the original 1989 Foreign Products Rule, and the practices of removing foreign labels without substantial transformation and mislabeling foreign beef with a USA label was allowed to resume. So we sought a judicial remedy earlier in 2016 to correct this problem. And we argued that the statute of limitations for litigating agency rules should be reset after the 2015 congressional repeal of KU. But the court disagreed and said we were time barred from obtaining a remedy as a 6-year statute of limitations applied to the 1989 Foreign Products Rule, not the 2015 cessation of the KU law's requirement that foreign labels be retained through retail sale. So the U.S. imports approximately 3 billion pounds of beef each year. The harm to U.S. cattle farmers and ranchers and to American consumers is obvious. Multinational beef packers are indiscriminately importing cheaper, undifferentiated beef as direct substitutes for U.S.-produced beef, thus reducing both the demand for and the price of U.S. cattle. Although the court ruled we were time-barred from obtaining a remedy, it did find that U.S. cattle producers were financially harmed by the lack of country of origin labels. So we seek the full restoration of country of origin labeling for both beef and pork, but recognize that this administration did not do so in the recently negotiated U.S.-Mexico-Canada agreement. What we are asking the administration to do right now is at least go back and rewrite the 1989 Foreign Products Rule to fix the broken labeling requirements for imported beef. With that, we're out of time. We hope you have a productive week. Thank you and goodbye.